You guys like my title?
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, I liked it. It is based off of a book, and in the end, I'll share the book. It's actually a series of books, and I'm telling you, this guy is legit. If you haven't read his books, it's definitely worth reading. This is good stuff, though. I'm actually going to take what I got out of his book and convert it to real estate. I have a ton of notes, so I'm going to be going through those notes and just kind of come taking what his tactics are and what got him to his level that he's at, completely change it and make it all about real estate. Exactly what we do here, right? So, anyone got anything for the good of the order as we get started? And then I'm going to jump into this good stuff today. Anyone need any help with anything? Little advice, next level stuff. Nope.
Not yet. Well, I'm glad we're back online. And I was missing all the huddles and everything. I was feeling like I was missing stuff.
You did. You missed a ton. I mean, I feel so bad for you, and I'm not gonna I can't go back and do it again because I forgot. Just kidding,
Ah,
man. Just kidding. You know that, Chief.
oh, yeah.
No, it's been a good. It has been a. We did take a little break over Christmas, so of course most
Yeah,
people
no,
did.
got to reset for sure.
Nice that we're all back. New year, new goals, new ways of doing business, new ways of thinking. Yeah, I'm excited. Excited, very excited. I'm going to start out first with giving you some nuggets, right? And those of you that came in a little late, just to let you know that this is based off of a really good book series that I'm going to convert a little bit more to real estate for you to make it make more sense. Because what we do is anything with sales, honestly. Anything with sales is the same thing. I actually changed my coaching a while back because I was part of a BNI group that I was the business coach. So I changed it to full on business coaching because everything we do in real estate is no different than any other sales out there. The only difference is that we've got the better job. This is the one where we actually have an easier way to do our form of sales because it's service. We're actually helping people. We're helping people with the American dream of having home ownership, which would, in today, if we're watching the news, it sounds like it may never happen for some people. But I think that's untrue. I think that there's definitely unfortunate things happening in our society with some buyers that may have a hard time, but everyone has the same opportunities to excel their knowledge, excel in their jobs, move forward, get out of that job. If you have no growth opportunity, go to another job. I mean, we all have those opportunities. So everyone's going to have a chance. And in home ownership, we have some first-time home buyers, tons of them that are buying right now. So it just depends on the area too, where they live in. Are you trying to buy in New York? Yeah, you may never own a home. But if you're trying to buy in LA, you may never own a home. If you're trying to buy in Central California, I think that can happen. Home ownership and some of the things they're doing in the government right now to change that. Um, the big corporations and stuff like that. That's all they're talking about trying to do. You know, it could help, it may not. We don't know. There's a lot of confusion. I see a lot of coaches out there sending out material online through social media about, what do you think of this? Give us your feedback. Don't get sucked into that hole, guys. We have one job to do, and that's to put people in homes, help them reach their goal, and we can help them. It's education. But I'm going to give you some nuggets real quick, okay? I'm going to talk about lead magnets for real quick, and then we're going to jump into the rest of this that is powerful. So you're going to want to take notes today. Highly suggest. I'm going to throw out some quotes today. Take notes of those quotes. They're game changers for 2026. Three types of lead magnets, okay? One is reveal the problem. Reveal the problem. That's your first lead magnet, and we'll talk about that real quick. So, one is you pick the problem, whatever that problem could be that you're finding out that this potential homeowner that you're interviewing to get the job to sell their home, you find the problem. What's the problem? What do they need solved? Find that problem first. All right, find it. That's through maybe a needs analysis or something like that, but you want to find it. Now, your offer for that type of lead magnet that you're focusing on. Your offer is maybe it's paying for something. It could be paying for an inspection if they have a fixer-upper house. I've seen agents actually get in and help them rehab the home so they can get more money for it, increasing the value of the house. I've seen that. I've seen people pay for inspections. I've seen people pay for different things. So, number one, reveal the problem and then help them with that problem, and they're going to hire you. Where agents,
to
oh,
16722 South
Sorry
oh,
about
Avenue.
that. Sorry about that.
no
Head west,
problem. I'll mute
stop
you.
Wood
Yeah.
Circle.
Oh, you unmuted you and I muted you. There you go. Yeah, so find the problem. And then, believe it or not, you can charge higher in commission. You can charge higher for what you do. If you can be the problem solver and helping them with whatever their problem is, it's easier. You're going to hear me say this again later on. It's way easy, guys, to reduce your price. Here's the problem with reducing your price. You can only reduce it down as low as zero. That's not the way to do it. Reducing your value is not going to help you get the listing. I'm sorry. Let's just say agent number one, and we're going to go over this in a bit on actual breakdowns of me personally and how we've done it over the years, how our team, we're getting 4% commission sign, 3.5% commission signs on the seller side all day long. When someone else is offering up two, your value is key. I like how this book says it, right? And again, I'm gonna reveal the book in the end, but I like how he says it in the book. Like some of you know that a bottle of wine that's $100 and a bottle of wine that's 20 may have the same exact makeup, ingredients, process to make it. It may taste exactly the same. There's been blind testing where this one was a burger from this place. This one was a burger from this restaurant. And this one cost, 15, 20 bucks. This one cost, $3 or $4. And when they taste them, they taste the same. There's been different products like that out there. Why would someone pay more for that one versus that one? Why? Because they think it's better, because the value must be better. It may not even be presenting the value. They may not be, but because it's priced higher, they automatically think they're getting something better. Could be a top producing agent and actually they have no experience at all, but they're charging more. It could be anything. It could be a product. Maybe it's a home inspection. Why does somebody pay for First American Home Warranty versus Home Warranty of America? Or why do they pay for Home Warranty of America versus any of the other ones? American Home Shield. Why do they pay for it if one, because they're not the same price. They're more expensive. But the value is what people are paying for. So if there's a bottle of wine that's $100, you want that $100 bottle of wine. You do because you think it's going to have taste better or do something when it really isn't. It's just priced higher potentially. You don't know, but that's the value of presenting. That's the thought in presenting your value. If you're offering 2% or 1.5% or a discount brokerage offering $500 flat fee, those flat fee brokerages that offer that, they don't do very well. If you look at their numbers, the higher brokerages do better. Make sure you guys are muting yourself. I hear like people talking or whispering in the background. Make sure you mute yourself. I don't want to monitor you. So unless you have something that you want to talk, speak up. This is open forum, guys. We have like 30 people on here. No, we have 20. Open forum for you to speak up. So speak up if you want to speak up. All right. So number two, sample trials. Okay, sample trials. Now let's talk about for a second if we were to put these lead magnets into some sort of lead generation tool online. Okay, some sort of lead generation. Sample trials. What's a sample trial? Well, let's think about it this way. If you give something out for free as a trial to try it out, let's say you're a listing appointment and you're number one, okay, of 3 agents that are interviewing in this, okay, 1 of 3. And I've done this many times. This is actually one of my inside techniques I'm going to teach you right now. All right, you've tried everything in your tool bag to get them to choose you. And they've got 2 more people they're going to interview tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow they're going to interview 2 more people, but they're interviewing you today. And you're doing everything in your tool bag to get them to sign with you before you leave. You want them to hire you, and you're throwing out all your value, everything. You're impressing the snot out of them, and they're like, wow, this is unbelievable value. We love this. We love your process. We love everything you presented. It's great. But we do want to interview the other two people and make a choice at the end of the day tomorrow. Is that and you're trying everything you can to get them to sign, but you just can't quite get them over the hump. So what do? Sample trial is a lead magnet. This is one of the ways you do it. Well, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to say, well, how about this? I'll pre-market your listing for sale. How about this? I can start today pre-marketing it while you're still interviewing them. What's going to end up happening is I may have a ton of people already ready to go. Whether you use me or you use someone else, I'm okay with that because my goal is to help you sell your home. We kind of have a co-op in brokerages where we cooperate together to help the consumer that you sell the home. So I can do a little pre-marketing for you in my brokerage. I have a large brokerage, 200 agent brokerage, 550 agent brokerage, whatever it is. I have all these people. I can just let them know that this is coming soon. It's going to be happening and see if anyone has any buyers right now. 9 times out of 10, I've got several people already ready wanting to see your home by the time it goes active. Again, mute guys, don't forget to mute. Um, so by the time it goes active, but what's going to happen is I can even pre-schedule the photos, but I'm not going to do the photos. I'm not going to be marketing on the open market, nothing like that. If you want, we can even put a clause in there that says that if you choose to, anyway, let's continue. So all I need to do is just have you sign a few of these documents. This gives me permission to start doing that, and then I can start working for you as of today. You choose another person, we just cancel everything and we're done. That's it. But in the meantime, I may have brought all these people already forward for you, ready to go to help you sell your home. It's all about you and getting that thing sold in the end, right? I've done this so many times and they'll go ahead and sign with me. Guess what I have them sign? A full listing agreement. But I'll do a clause in there that says that this is a listing agreement. And by this time, if they choose to go with someone else, this is canceled. I'll even give them a cancellation form signed by me, getting them completely out of the contract, but it has an ending date to it. That if it's not signed by this date, it's void and we'll need to do a new one. But I tell them don't sign it unless you choose to go with the other agent. But then guess what I do? I turn around and I work it. I reach out to everyone in my brokerage I know. I let them know, hey, this one's coming soon. Anyone got any buyers? And let me know. And I'm consistently updating the seller constantly. And I'm telling them, hey, I got this many people so far here. By the way, I got your photos scheduled, pre-scheduled for tomorrow, just in case you choose to move forward with me and hire me. And then I've got this and this and this. And anyway, I've got it ready and I'm totally impressing them because I'm working my butt off. I've got a 100% success rate of them by the end of the day canceling all their showings. 100% success rate, all their follow-up interviews. It works. It's sample and trials. You're trialing me. You're trying me out for the day while you're still interviewing the other people. That is a form of a lead magnet that you can use where you offer up stuff like that as marketing too. Number three, one step of the multi-process. Let's just take one step of this, okay? Giving something away for free, like maybe a pre-recorded video for a new buyer, a new buyer pre-recorded video that you're marketing out there for new buyers. And in order for them to see, this is for new home buyers. Allows you to learn a little bit about the buy process. Pre-record the videos. You're sending it out to different first-time home buyers, or you're marketing it on social media or all these different media venues. Maybe Google, wherever, and you're getting people to capture and to register using your lead magnet. They're registering, you're capturing their information, following up, asking them if they have any questions. That's another lead magnet and way to do it. So again, I'm taking things from this book and I'm transferring it over into how it works in the real estate world, in our world. So basically, you're testing the water in some of these. Okay. How about delivery method? How do you deliver some of this? How about software? You're giving away software. That could be free access to your MLS login. Do you talk like me? Do you talk like a realtor? Hey, I give you free access to my MLS. That's what I tell people. What am I doing? I'm setting them up on auto prospect. Okay. I'm giving them free software. Information. You're teaching them something. Free seminar, free first-time home buyer course, something like that, where I'm collecting more buyers that way. Physical product, something you can hold, they can hold in their hand. How about a book, a neighborhood printout? How about an annual property analysis that you send out to all your sellers that own a home, or all your homeowners, not sellers, they're not selling yet, they haven't hired you yet. Homeowners, and you basically once a year send them an annual property analysis in the mail or drop it off at their doorstep. Better yet, we call them pop buys and hand it to them. Hey, here's your annual your annual property analysis. Here's the booklet for you. Here it is. You guys want to talk for a second? Here's 15 minutes. It takes 15 minutes. I can go through the book. And you're doing that. You're physically giving them a product. That's the delivery method of your lead magnet. All right, so I told you I was going to start off by giving you some stuff for free. So free content right there. Take it, take notes, use this stuff. Use it, use it. All right, so let's talk about your company because we're getting into presenting. It's like making your offer so good that people would feel stupid saying no. If I didn't already do that to you just in what I presented to you, then I don't know what more I can give you. But I am going to give you a lot more. Ready? Here we go. All right. So your company isn't growing. If it's not growing, it's dying. I want you to think about that. Each and every one of you are independent, self-employed real estate agents out there, and you all have companies. You all have a company. It might just be your name. You might not be an LLC or an S corp or corporation of any sort. You might just be you right now because maybe you're new in the business. Maybe you've been in it and you've learned that, hey, my accountant says that I save a ton of taxes if I can incorporate. So you've incorporated. Doesn't matter what it is, but you are a business, individual business. And if you're not setting a growth plan each year, you're dying. But now let's talk about the difference between maintenance and growing because the industry that you're in, real estate, it grows each year. It continues to grow and increase each year. Let's just say it grows by 10% a year. Let's say it grows by 5% a year. And that could be median sales price growth. That could be any growth, all of it together, the whole package. Okay. The economic package could be that our industry is growing each year. Now, maybe I'm increasing my sales each year. Let's just do some math real quick, easy math. Let's say your commission typically on average is 5,000. That's low, but that could be your commission. And this is gross commission because you all have expenses you pay out of that. Let's just say it's 5,000, right? Now, each year you're growing and planning to sell maybe one or two more per year. But that first year, 5,000, and say you 12, say 12 in a year, so that's one per month sell at $5,000. So you're making $5,000 a month. That's your current income, 5,000 a month. You might sell one this month, two next month. You might sell none the next month after that, and then none the next, and then you might sell two more. So that's just an average, using some average numbers. Okay. So if I want to increase and say the basic economics of my area is increasing by this much per year. If I'm increasing by this certain amount per year only, that's maintaining. So maybe I'm increasing by one closing per year. Now I'm up to 13 next year. Maybe I'm increasing two. Maybe I'm up to 14. But on average, because of where we are in our economy right now, typical agents are increasing by maybe one or two closings per year. I'm maintaining. Even though I did increase my sales, I'm maintaining in the industry standard. I'm really not growing. It's a numbers game. In order to grow, you are increasing higher than your current maintenance level of the economy that you're in. Whatever it is, job you're in, whatever sales you're in, we're talking real estate here. So maybe the increase is typically this per year. It actually went down quite a bit after COVID, right? A lot of people were selling a lot less homes, but for a while there, they were increasing by quite a bit. Back in, say, 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, it was a pretty good sales number was around 100 to 200, maybe 150 a year. That was pretty good average sales number, 150. I feel like we're there again right now. 100, 150. I think our team closed 140, something like that. At one point in time, we were pushing close to 300. Well, back in early, our team that we were on was increasing by quite a bit per year. In order to stay as the top producing team in the area, we had to increase by quite a bit. And we were closing as high as almost 1,500 units a year. Well, now, and then after a while, that increase went up to the average top producer across the nation was 2,000, 3,000 a year. That's backed up now. It's a little lower. So the economy of growth changed a little bit after COVID. So whatever your economic area is of growth, you've got to be above it. Know your numbers. Know your numbers in your territories and your areas, what your typical growth is so that you can set your standard of typical growth that you do. Let's just say this. There's two ways. There's actually several ways to do it. Three ways to grow. Number one is you add more customers. Okay. Add more customers. Number two, you increase the average the average per value. So per customer, you increase the value of that customer. How do you increase the value of a customer? Well, here's an easy way to think about it. Okay. There, most buyers and sellers, most homeowners sell every 5 to 7 years and they grow into a bigger house. They increase. So they're doing more. Also spending money. Can I increase the sale if this house is set to sell, the average market value of this house is $500,000. Can I do things in my value to make this house worth more and sell more? I can. Um, Showcasing it. There's different people that spend bigger money on marketing, like video marketing and different stuff like that. I know someone that spends on every one of his photo shoots are about $1,500. I know someone that does that. That seems high. If you're in the $1 million, multi-million dollar range of homes, 10, 20, $30 million, your photos are probably going to be 5,000. I have one that I listed for 5 million, no, 8 million. And our photos included an entire production. Like we brought actors in, we brought ropers. It was an arena up in the hills and it was a full horse arena. We spent 5 grand on that photos. So it doesn't, but and what did we get? Holy mackerel, did we get a ton of action nationally? I mean, we were in magazines, top producing magazines. We were on airplane magazines. We were all over. Who's going to be buying this type of ranch? That's you're depending on what you spend on it. You can actually get more for it. You can actually get more. You can increase the value of every one of your sales. The value is what you put into it, what you value your package. So you can do that. Now, you got to know your market, got to know your property, got to know your value. But I do say that someone that sells on average about maybe 5 to 6, $700,000 homes, he spends on average 1,500 per listing. Mine photos alone on my listings are usually about maybe $500 to $800 is how much I spend on my photo packages. If you're taking photos with your cell phone, that's your value. Stop it. That's not good. I actually have a new listing. We have going to be going active, and that's the reason why it's in LA, and that's why he's hiring us is because he fired his agent. They did cell phone photos. They didn't anything they promised. It was just really bad, and they chose to lay off their agent. When you're spending, your value is your value. Okay, that's what I want to make sure I reiterate, get at. Okay. So they sometimes move up in a bigger house every year, every 5 to 7 years. So now you're increasing your value of each individual client that way because they're increasing, and what if they're downsizing? What if they're downsizing? Okay. They're downsizing. Does that mean they're actually decreasing their value? No. Maybe they're getting a smaller house. They're paying cash now because maybe they're in their 70s or so, and maybe they want to get a smaller house and they just want to downsize. So they're selling their big house and they're ready to downsize. Does that mean they're downsizing in value? No. They could end up spending quite a bit of money on maybe a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom home or something like that. We don't know. But that's increasing the value. Increasing your customers, you know that one. Get them to buy more times. Okay. Investors. How many of you focus on investors? And how many times does that one investor buy or sell? Think of this. I love this statement here. It says every entrepreneur starts out as a entrepreneur. So if you're calling yourself an entrepreneur and just started, get licensed, you're actually a entrepreneur. It's okay because you want it. You seek in it. You're trying to get more. You're trying to get yourself into the business and get moving. And so that's where most people are. They're not quite there yet. They haven't reached it, but they're gonna get there. Okay. There's really only 2 ways to grow, though. Number one is to get more customers, and number two is to increase the customer's value. And we talked about that right now, how to increase. But I'm gonna make this crazy simple for you. You ready? Okay, a lead is simply someone you contact. Think about that for a second. That's what a lead is. It's simply somebody you contact. So where do you find somebody to contact? Everywhere. So leads are everywhere. Everywhere. Movie theaters. Are there leads there? Yep. How many new relationships do you spark up there? How many nice people you talk to always got a smile on their face? It happens quite often. I see people with smiles on their face, and if I was to walk up and introduce myself, start talking to them with a plan to eventually let them know I'm a realtor and to pass them my card, is that a lead in the movie theater? Yes. Grocery store. I said this morning on a coaching call I had earlier this morning. I said, what if you go into the grocery store and you accidentally run into someone else's cart? Do you just say, oh, sorry, and pass them up? Because that's what most people do. But you're a entrepreneur turning into an entrepreneur. So you should be starting a conversation with that person, right? Getting to know them. Hey, by the way, I'm sorry I ran in your cart, but here's a business card. I could sell you a house. I'm not saying to do it that way, but it's a funny way to think about it, right? Everybody that you can contact and you pass throughout the day, church, kids, school, colleges, your kids are going to college, they have students who have families, bringing families together, getting to know people. Car dealers, you're buying a car from a car dealership. You better be passing them a card and saying, hey, and you owe me one now. I'm buying a car from you. You got to send me somebody. You owe me one. That's a way of doing it. Love it. Car dealerships. There's so many different ways. Church, supermarkets, gyms. You meet a lot of people in the gym. Everybody in your cell phone. What if you don't know who they are? Well, do some research. Maybe you met them someday. Obviously, you saved them in your cell phone, but you don't know who they are. Holy mackerel. Tattoo artists, that you go get a new tattoo. Hey, they buy houses, believe it or not. Emails, emailing leads out there. There's so many ways to contact people. There's so many leads out there. There's more leads, and you're not giving it enough justice right now. Think about how many potential leads you pass on a daily basis. So many. I'm going to play a couple of quick videos that you are going to have fun watching because these are funny. All right. This talking about getting uncomfortable. I'm telling you, it's important to get uncomfortable. If you guys don't this is the Legacy Real Estate Brokerage in Central California. If you're not taking the time to meet with Billy Garcia once a week, I've seen his group's getting bigger and bigger. He's making live calls with them, showing them how easy it is to do this and get uncomfortable. Now, this guy, I'm telling you, 1.56 million subscribers. Look at this, 32,000 people gave him thumbs up on this video. Random numbers trying to do FaceTime hangouts with them. He's trying to just find random numbers and do a FaceTime with them. This is fun. But I've actually fast forwarded it to a certain area because I want you to listen to what he says here. And then I'm going to rewind it and show you what he says. Ready?
Like this, it makes you want to not do it ever again. When the one person who says yes will be like the best experience you'll ever have.
Did you hear that? If you didn't catch that, that is crazy important. You're making a ton of phone calls out there. You're meeting a ton of people and you're getting a lot of no's, and you have two options. You quit or you continue, because the one person that does answer and says yes to you, I have been looking to buy, and it's so crazy you call me right now. It's going to make it so enjoyable. You have so many lead buckets that you can use. So many. I gave you so many options right now. I met this guy at a conference last year. Gosh, I wish I could remember his name. He got all of his leads from a supermarket. He was new to the area. He moved to, I believe it was the Tennessee area from Mississippi. He was a college football player, and he had never sold any real estate. If I remember right, his first year in the business in an area he never lived, he sold close to 300 homes. So if you think that you can't do this because it's struggling, think again. Don't give up on your lead sources, guys. If it's a little bit troublesome and you're struggling a little bit, push through. You haven't perfected it yet. Keep trying it. If it's sending out handwritten notes and you haven't closed one off that yet, you haven't perfected it yet. If you're doing door knocking and you haven't picked up a listing in the area yet, you haven't perfected it yet. Don't give up. You can't just do it for a week, 2 weeks, maybe 2 months, 3 months and give up. Try it different. Do something different, but continue the same lead source. Is eventually a point in time where you just need to research better. Maybe you need to get on Facebook, or not Facebook, on YouTube, start researching better ways to do the thing you're doing, but get better at it, perfect it. Be an expert in it so you can teach it. Don't just give up if it's not working fast enough for you, because that's not becoming a master of it. I'm going to rewind this a little bit and just let you hear the beginning of it. This is how his calls were going. I never listened to this whole thing yet. I'm sure he eventually got one.
How you doing today? Good. We're trying to meet new people by FaceTiming random strangers, and I was wondering if you'd be down for a chat.
Absolutely not.
In the current state of the world, it's been extremely hard.
How would that rejection feel? And then this guy here, he's just dialing. He's getting a bunch of bad numbers.
Has no FaceTime.
This is gonna be another battle, is like people picking up.
Okay, call an answer.
They're just hanging up, and eventually they get one. I'm gonna play another one here. Let's do this one. Now this one's really cool. So this guy has this way of going out on the street, and his job is, and it's the same guy actually. What he's doing is he's gonna try to find somebody to let him tattoo his face on their body and tattoo their face on his body. And he's just going to random strangers out on the street trying to do this.
Okay, yeah, we'll find somebody who's crazy enough to say yes. I got a random question for you guys. I'm trying to find somebody to be willing to get my face tattooed on their body, and I get your face tattooed on mine.
I'm all for that energy, but I don't think I'm up for a tattoo stranger's face right now.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a random question? So we're trying to find a stranger to get my face tattooed on their body, and then I get your face tattooed on mine.
Like a real tattoo.
Like a real tattoo.
Damn. You're talking to the right guy, man. Can I see like just your face as it is?
Who is the artist?
That's fantastic. What do you need from me, man? I'm in.
Really?
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. Like, why is that dude's face on you? Dude, let me tell you that.
Yes!
That's literally what it's about, man.
The idea behind this is we're going to be doing something pretty crazy together. I feel like we should do like a bonding experience
like
before.
An experience, absolutely.
Yeah, like something that you love to do. What's that?
I fight full time, like MMA.
No way. I'm 100% down.
Yeah, we can figure.
Serious. It only took him 2. He did it 2 times. He got some guy willing to tattoo his face on their body. What does this teach you, though? Think about it for a second. What is it teaching you? It's teaching that you've got to find the right lead source for the right lead. So the right lead for the right lead source. So here he goes up to the first people, and they're like, oh, I like the energy, but yeah, I can't see putting a tattoo. I don't see any tattoos on his body, but he did have a jacket on. The second guy's got tats all up his arms. I think that's probably the right lead source for the right lead for the lead source, right? So if that's teaching me anything, that's right there. That's makes a ton of sense. It's all in your leads. It's all in the right lead sources. It's all in the right capture, the right hooks, the right way to get it to go through. Okay. I want to
Thank you.
Any questions while we're kind of thinking this out? Anyone have any questions so far? Okay. So let's talk about your value proposition. What is your value proposition that you're offering up people? All right, let's think about this for a second. If back in the day when we were on the Kevin Blaine team, I was telling you that we used to do 3.5% commission all the time. What was the value? What was I offering? What would I do to get that? Now, we had agents that were extremely mad at us because when we went to go do the closing sheets back then, you would put a total commission on the listing agreement and how much you would give to a buyer's agent. Well, my value proposition was X, 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 X. These days, I include showcase in every one of my videos or every one of my listings. I include if they're above a certain threshold. Back then, they would get this custom amazing video if they were above a certain list price, which was back then, I believe, $500,000. We would spend, I think it was about $1,500 on a full video production, and we would do that. So no, it was $1,000 for a whole video production. So we're spending money on it. So our value that we're offering up, remember the wine scenario. If you're a 6% agent, and the most commission I've ever received on a listing so far was 10%. Okay, the most, and it depends on the price, depends on the property, depends on what your value proposition is. But back then, we would get 3.5 to 4% on the sell side all day long. And it was easy to explain. For me, now when I'm a buyer, I'm a little different, right? I'm thinking, oh shoot, I know that the listing agent might be getting more than me. And that's okay because for me, I know I'm spending time on gas, I'm spending time on my time searching for properties. I'm spending time on print because I'm printing these dang listings and taking them with me to the listings. So I'm spending some money there. But the listing agent is spinning the photos. They're spinning, drone shots, sign installers, paying for signs, lock boxes, you name it, marketing dollars. I just marketed a bunch of some other listings out there on different ads I'm running, spending extra money. I spend extra money on my listings. Remember, I said earlier, some people spend $1,500, $5,000, depends on the listing. So, what is your value that you're offering? Does it match what you're getting? If the value's there, guys, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get that higher price. People will see your value. If you're a flat rate agent where you're just saying, hey, I'll do it for, I saw a listing on someone in Legacy, by the way, where it was a $2 million listing and they got $10,000. No, yeah, $10,000 flat rate. $10,000 flat rate. That's about a $400,000 to $450,000 listing, and it was 2 million. So if you're offering up flat rate, that's what you're offering. You will get people that'll choose to do it. It'll happen, but expect you're going to get that out of the value too. And when you're working on your listing presentations, that needs to be part of your listing presentation. That you got to remember, there's a value for your home. Your home is worth what to you? Well, it's worth $1 million, even though it's worth $100,000. To them, they think it's worth $1 million. So they believe that their home is worth a lot, and they want to hire an agent that knows what they're doing. They want to hire an agent that's willing to go the extra mile and spend money on this thing and get it sold. Right? And a lot of it has to do with your confidence too, your confidence level in who you are. So I can be a realtor with no experience whatsoever, but I have all the confidence. I know I can do this. I'm driven every day. I don't know what I'm doing though, but I'm driven and I do what it takes. I have the no quit attitude, but I am a rookie. Agent number 2, top producer for years, no drive, very, very experienced, a bit tired, not pushing as hard, thinks they know it all, and that they don't need to continue to grow their mind. They don't continue to expand their knowledge. They don't continue to add more things, more tools or tool belt, look for the new technology. They're not doing it like agent number 1. Agent number 1 is going to pass up agent number 2. It is going to happen. It might happen this year. Like it literally might happen the first year in the business. So understand your drive, your value, what you're doing is important. Let's go back to the commission. We would go to our listing presentations all day long, and with the seller, I would present my value and what I do. And with that, I would let them know. So all of this is money I pay for up front, nothing you will pay for out of pocket. And my cost to do this is 4%, 3.5%. I never, very rarely ever locked in a listing any lower than 3.5% for years, because that's my value. Now they're going to ask, okay, so, is a buyer going to ask for commission? Yes. And it's negotiable with the offer. If they're your best number 1 offer out there, asking for 3%, but it's going to actually get you everything you need and more, you might consider accepting that. If they're in there offering lowball offering you, maybe a 2% commission, maybe a 2.5% commission, you can negotiate it at that time. Now, just explaining it like that, which was choppy because I hadn't done it in a while, was choppy. Would you hire me for 3.5%? It makes sense, right? Yeah, we're going to negotiate the buyer side. But all this value I just gave you, or that I just presented to you, how I'm showcasing listings, I'm spending all this money on drone shots and all this high quality video, all this stuff I'm going to be doing, but this is my cost to do that. Now there's other ways to do it too. You can turn around and say, so here's the deal though, because in the end, once we start getting offers, usually I'll be the first paycheck that'll get cut. I'll be there to help you get this sold. So if it's not going to be the number you need, I got 3.5% to play with, 4% to play with. That's another way people do it. Presenting your value, presenting your cost to your sellers, and then choosing in the end that, hey, here's the deal. I'm not going to promise a number right now, but in the end, I may drop off a 0.5%. I may drop off 1% to help you get it sold. The only thing I ask for is a 5-star review on Google and a referral. What do you think? Would you hire me? You might consider it. So your value needs to be worth more, guys. Remember, you are worth more. This is how you get 3.5%, 4% listings. There is no standard, right? If you didn't learn anything through the government lawsuit, there's no standard in real estate compensation. You can offer 3.5%, 4% as your cost for doing the job and 2% to the buyer. You don't have to say 3% or 2.5 or 2. It's yours. You can do your baby. Start high. Know your value and start high. Start where your number is and explain it. Be confident in that number, not afraid of it. You're a business professional and you provide a value. You provide a job. Be confident in the fact of what you do and ask for the number that you believe your package is worth. The seller doesn't like it, they can negotiate with you. We used to do these 4% all the time, even 5%. Like I said, the most I'd ever done was 10%. But you can negotiate that with them at the time. It's a lot easier to do it that way. This is my package. This is what I charge. It's a lot easier to do it that way than to reduce it later. What about, can you raise your prices? A lot of people can raise their prices, but they just can't sell their value. How do you sell your value? How do you get them to believe in it? This is how you do it. You believe in your value first. Have it written out on a piece of paper so it's set in stone. It's your value proposition. It's completely written out in part of your listing packet so that when you go there, you know it. You confidently know it. You have it memorized. You can just set it in front of them and read it to them without even reading it to them because you have your value so locked in solid. Guess what's going to happen over the next upcoming months and years? You're going to make it better and better and better. That's how you increase your value. That's how you increase your confidence level. Get to know your value, trust in your value, and it'll take you through this entire job. It'll take you through this career. It'll drive you for many years to come. You're worth it. All right, guys, I told you I was going to reveal these books to you. Any questions before I do that? All right, write this down. I want you guys to get these books. They're great books. It's Alex Hormozi. If you don't know who he is he's huge. He used to build these. He started out his career by taking gyms. He would completely upgrade the equipment, upgrade everything in there, and then he would turn around and help the business would actually make more money by him upgrading the gyms and getting them back into production. And he came up with something where he eventually realized he didn't have to travel to them anymore. Just all of a sudden, people were willing to pay more money. He talks about in one of the books, it's called 100 Million Leads. So he has a package of 3 books that you can buy if you want them. 100 Million Leads, 100 Million Money Models, and 100 Million Offers. And I took basically a couple of his books, a couple things from his books right now. I think I took some from 100 Million Offers and 100 Million Leads, and I converted it to the real estate world the best I could think of. And I'll continue to do this in the next upcoming coaching calls, just to kind of give you more and more concept of what he does. He talks in, I believe it's 100 Million Leads, about his dad seeing him and worried about him because he was on. And by the way, he does throw some cuss words every so often. Just prepare for it. But he even talks about God once in there too. I heard him talk about God in there as well. It was pretty good. But he talks about how his dad's a little worried about him in there because he sees him at this big event of 1,000 people, plus minus 1,000 people in this event. And his dad asks him, like, how much are those people paying to be there? He says $45,000. $45,000 people were paying to be there. And his dad was like, is that legal? I mean, they're paying to come hear me speak. Yeah, and so he talks about it and it's really good. But what it is $45,000 they're paying, and basically he's increasing their business and he's getting paid as he increases their business. But think about that, how much money that is on one of speaking event he's at, and he's charging $45,000 a seat, and there's 1,000 people in there. So definitely books to grab, books to read, books to understand. These are great, guys. Jump in there and get it, and then we'll continue talking about them over the next upcoming coaching calls. Sound good? All right. If you got no questions, go get it, guys. It's not going to come to you. You got to get it.
Hey, I have a little, oh, never, oh yeah, I have a little comment to make here. Today's Wes's birthday, so happy birthday,
Wes
Wes.
Hensley, happy
Happy birthday.
birthday. Should we all sing happy birthday to him? No, I think that would be a Zoom disaster.
Wes.
But we want to. In our hearts, Wes, we are singing happy birthday to you right now, man. Happy
Happy
birthday,
brother.
brother.
We appreciate you.
We do. You appreciate me or Wes? I appreciate Wes.
I both.
Happy birthday, man. Have a good day. Enjoy your day. Thanks for joining us on your birthday.